Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting where we learn, grow and craft together. In today's session, we are going to make faux postage stamps using a wonderful stamp set from Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz collection, some scraps of paper and some ink. I'm going to use one color for today's demonstration or a tutorial, and I will show you a few tricks with that. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is very simple. I've got some butter yellow paper. It's stainless copy paper, so it's really thin, and this were offcuts from a project that I was working on. I always keep my strips to one side or the offcuts to one side so that I can use it. The stamp set I'll be using is this one from Stampers Anonymous, Tim Holtz, and it is the Stamp Collector CMS 338. It is absolutely a wonderful stamp set. No, I'm not affiliated with them. I am just, yet again, so happy that I can be using these wonderful products, and the options are numerous. You can use it in so many different ways. For this tutorial, I'll be using archival ink. I've got the minis here. You can use the normal distress sizes, archival inks, the big ones, whatever. I've got purple and a few others. You can use distress oxide, distress inks. You can use any archival. I prefer archival because I can still distress it without it reacting with water. So I want to show you a few things. When you first stamp it, I try to line it up as much as I possibly can so that it's easy for me to just stamp it. So I'll start. And I'm doing the dark blue so that you can see what I'm doing. You can see it's a very vivid and a dark blue color. Now, without tapping the ink or the stamp to the ink pad again, I'm going to do the second generation stamp. You can see the color difference. And I'm going to do a third one. Yes, I did talk a little bit in between, but I'll show you. So with the same color, you have 3 different values. So let's do this again, and this time I'm not going to talk, so I'm not getting distracted. First generation print. Just leaving a tiny little bit of space in between so that I can still get that. Now you can see the color difference between this stamp and that one. The fact that I waited a little bit dried the ink because it's archival, it dries so much quicker. It's a waterproof ink. Acid-free, it's permanent, waterproof, so it dries really quickly. But you can see the values there without stamping or putting the stamp again to the stamp pad. If you do it a 4th time, I don't mind to show you this one. Just let me bring it closer, then I can more or less see. There we go. It is very light, so I would not suggest you stamp it a 4th time. However, we can try it immediately, one after the other, and see what's the color value of that. Now let's just be careful. 4th one. There we go. Not bad if you do it instantaneously. This one was very, very light because there was some time delay in between. But you can see you've got same stamp pad, same stamp, 4 different color values. And that's what I love doing sometimes, especially when I'm lazy, just to have those different prints. So let's do the tapping in there. And last one. Still fine, still fine. This one is a little bit light. Might not work. But it is awesome that you have the colored paper and then can still trim it. So there we have it. I'm going to close this, and then I want to just show you, if I now want to distress this a little bit, I will be using some of my ink, just tapping my distress ink blending tool into some vintage photo. This is vintage photo, and I'm going to ever so lightly, I'll just tap it here for a little bit, just on a post-it note, just to make sure. And you can just distress it here and there for a more vintage look. And once we are done cutting it out, you can also then do the ends. And that's it. So you saw it without that, and now for cutting it out. And then we will open this up. The ink pad again, I mean to say. I'm not going to cut this all out on camera. I'll just trim this side off. And I'll just do a few. Let's do those ones there, just to show you. And of course, there are many videos available. This is my process. This is what I like to do. Just like to trim this a little bit more. Just cutting the edges off the side away from the camera. That will be absolutely boring. And the last little bit. Now, to complete the distressed look, I will just go in and just ink the edges, and it is easy to do that. Even the light print, which was the 4th generation print, is still acceptable. Very light, but it does give you that vintage feel. Faded look, but there we have it. And you can then go ahead and print with black ink or a dark brown color near black onto colored paper or thin cardstock to create your faux stamps. I hope you found this tutorial useful and that you will try yourself. If you have some other stamps that you can use that are like little banners or vintage advertisements, this will definitely also help. Something else I just want to show you that I also like to do is I also take my other scraps and just make a whole bunch of stamped images, and then I fill it in or just use it as labels as it is. Sometimes writing a date or a faux signature. I'll show you that. You can literally just scribble on it and you can write a date 9/5/53 or whatever the case might be. It's up to your imagination, and there you have little labels and faux postage stamps that you can add to any project. I will use just a frame. If you have this and you added some of this, I've got some from another one. Let's just get another stamp there. Maybe make a little collage with it. It will be beautiful. I'll just trim this one quickly. The square or the straight lines, it's much easier than curved lines to fuzzy cut, and we can add that there. It will make for a beautiful little collage to decorate any of your paper projects. Thanks for joining me today. Please go try this for yourself, and if you do, tag Wawa Crafting on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up so that I can share my videos with more people. As always, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel too, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.